Morning, we're going to talk about traffic safety and the ongoing number of way too many deadly crashes we still have on our roads. So joining us this morning, Sergeant Miguel Garcia and Lieutenant Brett Ficklin. Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us today.
Well, good morning, Dave, and thank you for having us. And yes, we're talking about the fatals. Last year we had 101 fatal collisions, which is a really big number. The only positive on this is that the year before we had 115, and so we have seen a trend in a downward direction, but we want to do better. And that's why I have here Lieutenant Ficklin from our traffic section to talk to you a little bit about what options we're doing here to try and reduce those fatal accidents.
Well, good, because we'd love to hear it, because I know it's a source of frustration with you guys and also us, because, you know, we're constantly trying to tell our viewers, be safe, do the right things, don't drive drunk. And a lot of times it just doesn't seem like that message is landing. That's
correct. And one of the three major factors that are behind our fatal collisions, one of the three is, of course, DUI. And when looking at our numbers over the last 15 years, we found that in years that our DUI arrests went up, our fatals went down, and vice versa. When our DUI arrests went down, our fatals went up. So over the last 2 years, we've had a strong focus on DUIs, and we've gone in two directions. We are involved in the DUI strike team with traffic officers from our bureau and NHP troopers, where this team goes out every night of the week and actively search for drunk drivers. And then we also have a program we call the DUI Blitz. It's an operation we do at least once a month, where we send 30+ officers out into a geographic area in the valley to go actively search for DUI drivers. We had just such an operation just last Saturday that covered Summerlin and Northwest, and we made 21 DUI arrests during that operation.
You know, as a department, how frustrating is it for you guys there at Metro to constantly be putting the message out and then constantly having to roll up to these scenes where perhaps a drunk driver ran into another person and killed them, and for some reason that person just is not listening?
Well, it's extremely frustrating for us. And to clarify what impairment is when you're driving, it's not just alcohol. It can be prescription drugs, it can be recreational or illegal drugs. And so what we are telling the public is if you are going to be under the influence of any of these substances, do not get behind the wheel. And there are many options for you if you need to get from one place to another while under the influence. Call a friend. Rideshare is a perfect opportunity. It's affordable. It's widely available. There's no reason anybody should be getting behind the wheel under these circumstances.
Well, that leads into my next question. I was just going to ask you about the rideshare programs. As those now become more and more popular and more people are using them, have you seen a correlation with the DUI numbers? Have they been dipping at all? What are you guys seeing there?
Well, I can tell you with our DUI involved fatals, we found a 53% decrease from 2019 to 2020, from 2019 to 2020, where impairment was a factor. So we're hoping that a combination of enforcement on our part and the availability of rideshare has something to do with that.
All right, do you guys have any closing message to the public? Just, the normal stuff, hopefully that more people will listen.
Well, Dave, I want to put it into perspective that everyone out there on the roads, we're talking about, we all are on the road, ourselves, our families, and think about your families. It could be another drunk driver that actually impacts your family by colliding with your kids or your wife, and we have to think about that before we get behind the wheel. And if we can actually do that for ourselves, then we're helping each other in our community to ensure that we're all safe on the roadways.
All right, that's a good way to end it right there. Thank you to Sergeant Garcia and Lieutenant Ficklin. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, and have a good day.